Welcome to Rambam. We are learning the laws of Truma, of giving the fair share to the Kohen, the priest, as they do not have a share in the land, so they get a share of gifts. Truma, as we spoke about, is approximately 2% of one's crop, and it is a holy um, it's a gift that needs to be eaten by the Kohen in holiness. And what we're going to learn in chapter 7 now. Okay, so a Kohen who is ritually impure is forbidden to partake of Truma. So this gift of the land that is given to him has to be eaten in when he's ritually pure. Whether it's ritually pure or impure, as it says, any person who's a seed of Aaron, who's afflicted with tsaras, skin disease, which is an impurity, the zav, an emission, may not partake of the consecrated food. And this is consecrated food, the truma, which consecrated food may be eaten by all descendants of Aaron, both male and female. We must say truma. Right. So what is consecrated food that could be eaten? Is truma. Right. That's the instance at all times they can. Thus, an impure person who eats truma that is ritually pure, right? The impure person who eats truma that so there's two things over here. The person needs to be pure and the food needs to be pure, right? So what happens if thus an impure person who eats truma that is ritually pure is liable for death by at the hand of heaven. Therefore, he's given lashes, and you shall protect my charge and not bear sin because it is of it and die because of it. When an impure person partakes of truma that is richly impure, he does not receive lashes, although the transgressor the negative commandment for impure truma is not holy. So the person's impure, but the food is also impure, right? Impure can be come in contact with a corpse, right? The food or the person, and or the person. It could be other, or like we learned, the skin disease of tsaras or azov. So, but if the food's impure and the Kohen is impure, he doesn't receive lashes because this was not something that he transgressed because it's impure. Therefore, it cannot be used in as truma to be eaten at least. He transgresses a negative commandment, but doesn't get lashes. Impure Kohanim who have immersed to purify themselves, but not may not partake of truma until the sun sets, and 3 stars appear afterwards. On the day the impure person immerses themselves, as the verse is it's implied from the verse, and the sun will set, and he will become pure. So only after the sun sets, you become pure. In other words, you went to the mikvah, you immersed yourself in mikvah, but during the day, but you have to wait until the sun sets, or actually nightfall, until the sky will become pure of light. Afterwards, he may partake of the consecrated foods. What does it mean become pure of light? He will become pure of light. I don't understand those words. One second. Shitora Rekim, or meaning that there is no light. A kohen who is ritually pure, who ate truma, that is ritually impure, is not liable for lashes because a prohibition is a result of a positive commandment. For the verse states afterwards he may partake. For the verses after he may partake of the consecrated foods, implied is that after he becomes purified, he may partake of food that is in a state of holiness. Food which is impure by contrast, he should not eat, even though he becomes purified. A prohibition that stems from a positive commandment has the status of positive commandment. You don't get. It's only when you transgress a negative commandment that you will be liable for lashes. But over here, he's pure, and he's eating something impure. It's not consecrated foods. He did not transgress a negative commandment. He transgressed a positive commandment that you should eat it when you're in a pure state, and you should eat purified foods. When a kohen was partaking of truma, he feels his limbs shudder to ejaculate. He should hold his member and swallow the truma. If he feels that he is going to ejaculate and that makes him impure, so he has to make sure he swallows the food before it becomes impure, that he shouldn't be eating truma in a state of impurity. Okay. He may immerse a deaf, mute, or intellectually or emotionally unstable priest, kohen, and feed him truma after nightfall on that day. We guard them to make sure they do not sleep after immersing themselves, because if they sleep, they are considered impure for perhaps they had a seminal emission unless a copper container is made for them. So these people not in control, right? So therefore, but yet he can eat from truma when he's pure, but don't let him go to sleep because he may have a discharge. He has to eat the truma before going to sleep. Person's not in control. Camel riders are forbidden to partake of truma until they immerse themselves and wait till nightfall because they presume they are ritually impure. Rationales of physical stimulation produces the riding of the flesh of the camel produces a drop of semen, right? Because of the being against the camel, and the warmth of the camel is going to produce a drop of semen, can at least. And therefore, the camel driver needs to go to the mikvah. A woman engages in intimacy. She may immerse herself and partake of truma in the evening, provided that she did not turn over during intimacy, but that she turned over intimacy. She is forbidden to partake of truma during the duration of 3 days, for it's impossible to not discharge semen and become impure, as explained in an appropriate place. So a whole idea here of the semen coming out and going back in, if it after having relations. But otherwise, she just needs, because remember, women can also partake of truma, but they need to do it in a state of purity. So, of mikvah. This is not about menstrual cycle over here. Okay, that's important to know. It's not about menstrual cycle. It's about that relations create the impurity for her and for him. Since the primary obligation of truma is separated in the diaspora is rabbinic in origin, it is forbidden only for a kohen to become ritually impure because of discharge from a body. Men who had seminal emission, zavim, zavais, nidais, and women who give birth, all these individuals may partake of truma after they immerse, even if they do not wait until nightfall. Why? Because in the diaspora, it's only rabbinic in law we're talking about, right? It's not biblical, and always we're more lenient when it comes to rabbinic law. Those who, by contrast, become impure because of contact with the source of ritual impurity, or the contact of a human corpse or form of impurity which is impossible to purge in the present day, or contact with the corpse of a crawling animal, need not immerse themselves to partake of truma separated in the diaspora. Because you can't go to the mikveh today. You come in contact with death. You need the red heifer. We don't have it today. So going to the mikveh is not going to make you pure. So you can partake because it's rabbinic in law. Okay. All right. I today have to run a bit earlier. Sorry. To be
Okay.
continued. Thank you,
Thank you.
folks.
Have a
4
good day.
o'clock TRC. Thank you.
Have a good day.